You've been using an AI coding assistant for a while now. Maybe you picked it up because of all the hype. Colleagues raving about shipping features in half the time, Twitter threads showing entire apps built in a single prompt. You wanted that same magic. But your own experience? It's been different. Instead of feeling faster, you feel like you're fighting the tool. You spend more time fixing AI-generated code than you would have spent writing it yourself. And honestly, it's starting to feel like maybe this whole AI coding thing just isn't for you. Here's the thing. It's probably not you. It's how you're using it. And today, I want to walk you through the most common mistakes people make with AI coding assistants, so you can finally get the results everyone else seems to be getting. The first sign something's off. The code looks right. It reads well, it follows the patterns you'd expect, but when you actually run it, something's wrong. Maybe it's a subtle logic error. Maybe it's using an API that doesn't exist anymore. Or maybe it just doesn't handle your specific edge case. So you go back, reprompt, get another plausible-looking answer, and now you're in a loop. Prompt, test, fail, reprompt. Each cycle burns time, and the frustration compounds because the AI keeps sounding so confident. You start to wonder, is it me, or is this tool just unreliable? This is one of the most common traps. The AI is optimized to produce convincing output, not necessarily correct output. If you don't have a strategy for verifying what it gives you, you'll keep falling into this cycle. Here's another one you've probably seen. You ask the AI for help with a feature, and it hands you a massive chunk of code. At first glance, it kind of works. But try to modify it. Try to test just one piece of it. Try to understand what it's actually doing 3 weeks from now. You can't, because it's a tangled mess. There's no separation of concerns, no clear structure. Just a wall of code that technically runs. This happens when we treat the AI like a vending machine. Put in a prompt, get out a solution. But good software isn't just about working code. It's about maintainable code. And that requires a different kind of conversation with your AI assistant. This one is sneaky. You use the AI to build something, it works, you ship it, and then a week later, something breaks in a completely different part of the system. You trace it back, and sure enough, it's connected to that AI-generated code. The bug wasn't obvious at the time because it wasn't in the code you were looking at. Maybe the AI made an assumption about state management, or introduced a side effect you didn't catch. Now you're debugging something harder than the original problem you were trying to solve. This is the hidden cost. When AI-generated code works on the surface but carries subtle issues underneath, the time you saved up front gets paid back with interest later. You've tested it locally. The happy path works beautifully. You might even have a demo that looks impressive. But the moment it hits real users, real data, real edge cases, things fall apart. The AI gave you code that handles the simple scenario perfectly, because that's what your prompt described. But production isn't simple. There are null values, concurrent requests, unexpected input formats, network timeouts, all the messy realities that a single prompt rarely captures. This gap between works in my test and works in production is where a lot of trust in AI coding tools breaks down. And it's completely avoidable once you change how you approach the problem. And maybe the most dangerous pattern of all. You've started to rely on the AI so much that when something breaks, you don't know where to start. You can't debug it because you didn't really understand the code in the first place. You just accepted what the AI gave you. Now you're stuck. You paste the error back into the AI, hoping it'll fix itself. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it makes it worse. Either way, you're not learning. You're just hoping. And that's a scary place to be as a developer. The goal of using an AI assistant should be to amplify your skills, not replace them. If you find yourself unable to understand and properly evaluate its solution, something has gone wrong in the process, and we need to fix that. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're in the right place. We're going to break down the 5 most common mistakes people make when using AI coding assistants. These are the patterns that lead to exactly the frustrations we just talked about. For each one, I'll show you what to do instead. Now, the specific workflow that works best for you will depend on your project, your team, and the tools you're using. But the underlying principles are the same no matter what. The first mistake is asking vague or underspecified prompts. Things like, build me a login system or fix this bug, with no additional context. It's natural. When you work with a human teammate, they ask clarifying questions and fill in the gaps using shared context. So you expect the AI to do the same. But here's the problem. The AI won't push back. It won't usually say, I need more information. Instead, it fills in every missing detail with its best guess. And those guesses are based on the most common patterns it's seen, not on your specific project, your constraints, or your intent. The result? You get code that looks reasonable because the AI learned common patterns from millions of open source projects it was trained on. But reasonable isn't the same as right for your project. It doesn't match your actual requirements, your architecture, or your edge cases. So you rework it, reprompt, and the cycle starts all over again. The fix is simple but requires a mindset shift. Before you prompt, think about the constraints, the edge cases, and the specifics that matter. The more precise your input, the more useful the output. One of the easiest ways to do this is to use a dev plan, since most AI coding tools already support this. In Claude Code, you type /plan. In Cursor, you can use plan mode, and other tools have similar features. Here's how it works. Under plan mode, the AI doesn't write any code. Instead, it reads your codebase, asks clarifying questions, and produces a step-by-step implementation plan, usually in Markdown format. You review it, push back on parts that don't make sense, refine it, and only then do you tell it to execute. Think of it as a code review before the code even exists. The planning phase is also the time when you might want to use a more capable frontier model. It might be more expensive, but this is where it matters most, nailing down all the logical loose ends up front. That investment pays off later, because fewer surprises in the plan means fewer bugs in the code. Why is this so effective? Because you're reviewing a plan in plain English, not a wall of code. It's much easier to spot a wrong assumption in a sentence than in 50 lines of logic. You catch the misunderstanding before it becomes a bug you have to track down. Now, this works best when the problem itself is small enough to fit in a single plan. Which brings us to the second common mistake. The second mistake is trying to solve everything in one shot. You ask the AI to build a full authentication system or implement this entire feature, and you expect it to just handle the whole thing end to end. It's understandable. The AI seems capable enough, so why not let it take a big swing? But here's the reality. AI reasoning degrades as task complexity and scope increase. The bigger the problem, the more likely it is to lose track of details, make inconsistent choices, or quietly introduce errors that compound across steps. And here's what makes this really dangerous. The errors compound. Each step the AI takes builds on the previous one. So if it makes a wrong assumption early on, every step after that inherits that mistake, and often adds new ones on top. One bad decision becomes 2, becomes 5, and suddenly you're buried in generated code where the problems are layered on top of each other. And when something inevitably goes wrong, you're stuck staring at this massive chunk of code with no idea which part is broken. You didn't build it piece by piece, so you can't debug it piece by piece. Everything was generated at once, and now everything is suspect. That's why keeping each step small and under your control isn't just a nice to have. It's the only way to stay ahead of this compounding effect. So how do you fix this? You decompose. Before you ever open a prompt, break the big problem down into small, independent pieces. Each one something you can describe in a sentence or two and verify on its own. Take the authentication example. Instead of one giant prompt, you'd start with create the user model and migration. Then, add a login endpoint that returns a token. Then, add middleware that validates the token on protected routes. Each piece is small enough to fit in a single plan, small enough to review, and small enough to throw away and redo if the AI gets it wrong. This is really just good engineering, decomposition, and separation of concerns applied to how you work with AI. The AI doesn't get worse at small, well-defined tasks. It gets worse at big, ambiguous ones. And here's a nice trick. You can even use the AI itself to help you break down a big task into smaller pieces before you feed each one into a dev plan. Some people call this the brainstorming phase. There are various tools and techniques out there to help with this, but the specific technique you use isn't the point. The core idea is what matters. Think small, verify often, and stay in control at every step. The third mistake is treating AI output as correct by default. The workflow looks like this: copy, paste, run, and if nothing blows up, move on. You only stop to look closer if something breaks, obviously. And remember the compounding effect we talked about? It applies here too. Each unchecked piece of code stacks up errors that make the problem exponentially worse over time. And it's easy to fall into this trap because AI-generated code is fluent and confident, even when it's not aligned with your requirements. It reads well. It looks like something a good developer would write. And your brain has a natural shortcut. If the code is readable and it runs, it must be right. But readability is not correctness. The AI can produce clean, well-structured code that quietly does the wrong thing. The cost hits you later. Bugs surface days or weeks down the line, far from where they were introduced, making them much harder to track down. And because you never really examined the requirements understood by AI, you've lost the understanding you'd need to debug it efficiently. You're paying back that time you saved with interest. How to fix this? Lots of people believe that they need to review every single line of code AI generated. We have a different philosophy. Recent frontier models are very good at generating code if a detailed instruction is given to them. Developers should front-load their time on ensuring that AI gets enough context of what it is asked to do. We should spend more time reviewing the dev plans created during plan mode. Instruct AI to prompt you for answers on anything still unclear. And here's the good news. The compounding effect works in the opposite direction too. Each round of reviewing and refining the dev plan catches more issues and tightens the alignment with what you actually need. The errors don't just decrease, they decrease exponentially. If each review cycle catches 90% of the remaining issues, then after just 3 rounds, you're down to a fraction of a percent of errors. That's the power of front-loading your effort on the plan, instead of chasing bugs in the code after the fact. The fourth mistake is skipping validation. Now, this isn't strictly an AI problem. Developers have been shipping untested code since long before AI came along. But AI makes it worse, because it amplifies every misinterpreted requirement. Here's the pattern. You get code from the AI, you run it, it works, and you think you're done. It runs equals it's finished. But that immediate success is a trap. It gives you a false sense of completion. The AI didn't miswrite the code. It wrote correct code for a simpler version of your problem, the version without nulls, without timeouts, without malformed data, and you won't know that until it's too late. In order to get AI to cover all the cases correctly, the planning iteration we described earlier will help uncover the corner cases and their expected outcome. We also need a repeatable way for AI to validate these expected outcome. That is where test-driven development, TDD, comes in. So what is test-driven development? The idea is simple. You write the tests first, before any implementation code exists. You define what correct behavior looks like, the inputs, the expected outputs, the edge cases, and then you write code until those tests pass. It flips the usual order. Instead of write code, then check if it works, it's define what working means, then make it work. Why is this a natural fit for AI code generation? Because it gives the AI something it desperately needs: a concrete, unambiguous definition of success. When you hand the AI a set of tests, it's no longer guessing what you want. It has a target to hit, and you get instant automated feedback on whether the generated code actually does what you intended. No manual checking required. Here's how to use TDD with AI in practice. During your planning phase, identify the key behaviors and edge cases. Then write the test cases first, or have the AI help you write them. Review those tests carefully, because they are your specification. Once you're confident the tests capture what you actually need, let the AI generate the implementation to make them pass. And here's what makes this approach so powerful. You only need to care about the outcomes, the expected inputs and outputs, not the implementation details. That's really just an extension of the requirement clarification exercise we talked about earlier. You focus on defining what correct looks like, and the AI takes care of how to get there. You can also enforce TDD as a standard practice in your project by adding a rule for it, a rule that tells the AI to always write tests before implementation. If you're not familiar with what rules are or when to use them, I've got a separate video on that which I'll link in the description. This closes the loop. The plan tells the AI what to build. The tests tell it when it's done. And if the AI's code doesn't pass, you don't have to dig through the implementation to figure out what went wrong. The failing test tells you exactly which behavior is broken. It's the fastest feedback loop you can get. The fifth mistake is using AI for problems you don't understand yourself. And I get why it happens. AI lowers the barrier to attempting things that used to require deep expertise. Need to set up a database? Ask the AI. Need to configure authentication? Ask the AI. It feels faster than learning the fundamentals, and for a while, it works. You're shipping features. You're making progress. But here's the problem. You're confusing getting code with understanding the system. There's an illusion of progress without comprehension. And that illusion shatters the moment something breaks, because you can't debug what you don't understand. You can't tell if the AI's answer is wrong if you don't know what right looks like. You're completely dependent on the tool, and when it fails you, you have nowhere to turn. You don't even have the knowledge to ask the right questions. So how do you fix this? This is one of the hardest and most important mistakes to address, because it's not a tooling issue, it's a learning behavior issue. You can't solve it with a better prompt template or a different workflow. But here's a practical way to think about it. The goal isn't to just get the code working and call it a day. The goal is to change your relationship with the AI. You want to move from AI solves it for me to AI helps me understand, and only after that, implement it. The AI isn't just a coding assistant, it's also one of the best learning tools available to you right now. You can ask it to explain why it made a certain choice, walk you through how a piece of code works, or break down a concept you're unfamiliar with. It has an infinite amount of patience, it's available 24/7, and it's always willing to help. But that only happens if you're willing to engage with it. The bottom line is, be prepared to learn along the way. Use the AI to grow your understanding so you can leverage it to the fullest. So let's bring it all together. We covered 5 common mistakes that hold people back when using AI coding assistants, and we walked through practical ways to address each one. As you gain experience, you'll move on to more specific or advanced techniques, but the core ideas behind them stay the same. If you take one thing away from this, it's this. The developers who get the most out of AI aren't the ones who write the best prompts. They're the ones who think clearly about the problem before the first line of code is written. Plan first, break it down, verify the output, and keep learning. Do that, and the AI becomes the multiplier everyone promised it would be. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and see you next time.